Two white t-shirts, same cotton, same color, same function. One costs $10, the other costs $120. The only visible difference? A small green crocodile. So what are you actually paying for? Because it's not just fabric, it's not just stitching, and it's definitely not just a logo. In this video, we're breaking down the real reason branded products cost dramatically more and why people willingly pay for it. This isn't about fashion, it's about psychology, it's about economics, and it's about identity. At surface level, both shirts look identical. White cotton, short sleeves, crew neck. You could argue they serve the same purpose, and technically they do. They both cover your body, but markets don't price products based only on utility. They price them based on perceived value. Utility is basic. Perception is powerful. When you buy a no-name white shirt, you're buying function. When you buy Lacoste, you're buying meaning. And meaning is expensive because meaning changes how others see you and how you see yourself. Let's talk about what a brand actually is. A brand is not a logo. A brand is not a font. A brand is not even a product. A brand is a psychological shortcut. When you see the Lacoste crocodile, your brain doesn't think cotton, it thinks heritage, sport, elegance, status, quality, legacy. Why? Because Lacoste was founded by René Lacoste, a tennis champion. The brand was built around performance, discipline, and elite sport. Over decades, that identity was reinforced through marketing, sponsorships, pricing, and distribution. So when you wear Lacoste, you're not just wearing fabric, you're wearing narrative, and narratives sell. Now let's talk numbers. Is the Lacoste shirt 12 times better in material? No, but price is not cost plus logic. Price is positioning. Luxury and premium brands use higher pricing strategically because higher price increases perceived quality. It filters customers. It creates exclusivity. It builds aspiration. If Lacoste sold shirts for $10, the brand would collapse. Not because the cotton changed, but because the signal changed. Price itself is part of the product. Expensive products create psychological separation, and humans are wired to value scarcity. When something costs more, we subconsciously assume it must be better, even when we can't measure the difference. That's called price-quality bias, and it's extremely powerful. Here's the uncomfortable truth. We don't buy brands for ourselves. We buy them for others. Clothing is communication. Before you speak, your outfit speaks. A logo communicates group membership. It says, I belong to this level. I can afford this. I understand this culture. Brands are social currency. They allow people to signal identity quickly. Luxury brands amplify this effect because visible logos create visible signals. This is why minimal logos exist too. Subtle branding signals to those who understand. Overt branding signals to everyone. Both are intentional and both are strategic. The crocodile is small, but it's loud. But there's something deeper. Brand purchases are emotional purchases. When someone buys Lacoste, they're not calculating cotton density per dollar. They're buying confidence. They're buying how they feel walking into a room. They're buying perceived elevation. Emotion adds premium, and premium multiplies margin. This is why brand loyalty exists. When emotion attaches to identity, price sensitivity decreases. The shirt is no longer just a shirt, it becomes part of self-image. And once identity is involved, rational comparison disappears. Let's zoom out. Humans evolved in tribes. Status determined survival. Higher status meant better mates, more protection, more resources. Modern society replaced tribal markers with economic markers. Now status is signaled through cars, watches, clothing, location. Brands function as modern tribal badges. They compress economic information into visual cues. A logo is shorthand for success, whether it's accurate or not. And here's the important distinction. Some people use brands to signal success. Others build success quietly. There's nothing inherently wrong with branding, but it becomes dangerous when signaling replaces substance. If your spending increases faster than your assets, you're buying illusion, not leverage. Now let's be balanced. Brand is not useless. Brand can signal professionalism. Brand can open doors. Brand can influence perception in high-stakes environments. In certain rooms, presentation matters. The problem is not buying brand. The problem is buying brand without margin. If you're financing image while lacking stability, that's fragile positioning. Strong positioning is when you can afford the brand effortlessly, not when the brand owns your budget. There's a difference between premium consumption and aspirational overspending. One is strategic, the other is compensatory. Here's the genius part. Lacoste doesn't sell cotton. They sell differentiation. Differentiation allows pricing power. Pricing power creates margin. Margin creates marketing budget. Marketing reinforces brand perception. And the cycle continues. This is why brand is one of the strongest economic moats. When a company builds emotional attachment, competitors can't compete on price alone because they're not competing on fabric, they're competing on meaning. And meaning is harder to copy than material. So here's the real question. When you buy the $120 shirt, are you buying quality or are you buying identity? And is that identity aligned with your actual financial foundation? There's nothing wrong with enjoying premium products, but understand what you're paying for. You're paying for signal, for emotion, for narrative, for positioning, not just cotton. The danger is confusing brand ownership with wealth, because real wealth is assets, cash flow, optionality, not logos. If your net worth is fragile but your wardrobe is premium, something is inverted. Signal should follow substance, not replace it. Two white t-shirts, same function, different price. The difference is not fabric, it's psychology, it's economics, it's status signaling, it's identity. Brands are powerful, but they're powerful because humans are emotional. The smartest consumers understand the game. They don't reject branding blindly. They use it intentionally. They build assets first, image second, because once you truly have leverage, you don't need a logo to prove it. And that's the real flex.